Joseph Stalin was one of the most feared and controversial leaders in Soviet history. However, he was not just known for his public persona. His private life was equally fascinating. Today, we will explore some of the lesser-known aspects of Stalin's personal life and the secrets that lay behind the leader. Stalin was born in 1878 in Gori, Georgia. His real name was Joseph Vissarionovich Jugashvili, but the name Stalin, meaning man of steel, was a nickname that reflected his tough and ruthless personality. His childhood was filled with hardship. His father was an alcoholic who frequently abused him, and his mother was left to care for him alone. These early traumatic experiences had a profound impact on Stalin's personality. Stalin's personal life was as complicated as his public career. He was married 4 times and had numerous affairs. His first wife, Yekaterina Svadnidze, passed away in 1907 after only 3 years of marriage due to tuberculosis. Stalin himself noted that he loved her deeply, and her death was a formative emotional blow for him. His second wife, Nadezhda Alliluyeva, had a much longer and more tumultuous marriage with him. Nadezhda's tragic suicide in 1932 marked one of the darkest moments in Stalin's personal life. Some historians suggest that their marriage was marked by intense conflict, with Stalin being emotionally and psychologically abusive towards her. After Nadezhda's death, Stalin led a much more isolated life. Stalin's children also faced harsh lives under his rule. His daughters, Svetlana Alliluyeva and Yekaterina Zhdanova, were particularly affected by his authoritarian rule. Svetlana famously defected to the United States, denouncing her father's regime. Her relationship with Stalin was fraught with tension, and she later wrote about the emotional and psychological damage caused by his rule. Stalin's sons also lived difficult lives. His eldest son, Yakov, famously committed suicide, which deeply affected Stalin. In his later years, Stalin became an increasingly isolated figure. His strict leadership style and his ruthless purges of perceived enemies caused many to fear and distance themselves from him. Some historians believe that Stalin's psychological health deteriorated as he became more isolated, which only amplified his cruelty. His loneliness became more apparent as he grew older, and many close allies were either removed or kept at a distance. Stalin's private life was shrouded in mystery, and his secrets extended beyond his family life. For instance, in the 1930s, Stalin's health began to deteriorate significantly, but this was kept hidden from the public. He was struggling with serious medical conditions, but only a few close aides knew the extent of his illness. Stalin's need for control meant that many aspects of his life, including his health, were kept under wraps. His secretive nature extended to the way he governed. Decisions were often made behind closed doors, and he would often act alone, excluding even trusted colleagues. Stalin's personal life was far more complicated than the image of the stern, unapproachable leader we see in history books. His early hardships, personal losses, loneliness, and complex family relationships played a significant role in shaping the dictator we know today. Stalin's psychological struggles, compounded by his ruthless political ambitions, made him a deeply complex figure, and understanding the hidden parts of his life helps us better comprehend his legacy. The true nature of Stalin's private life remains one of the most elusive mysteries of the 20th century. Historians continue to probe the depths of his inner world, but many aspects of his life will likely never be fully understood. Stalin's real identity and private struggles are still cloaked in secrecy.